those that know, I'm a preacher, so it's always nice to have the mic close. Well, it's certainly an honor to be here. I'm pretty excited that we are looking at each other's faces without a screen between us and sitting in boxes. And I'm very glad that we're all here healthy and well. So good afternoon. I'm honored and I'm certainly blessed to be here with you today to accept the 2021 Cayuga County Chamber of Commerce Phyllis Goodman Award. And as you know, this moment, my arrival here in this place certainly was not a solo journey. I would like to take a moment to thank my peers who nominated me and the committee who chose me. I'm sure there was a list of amazing nominees to receive this award. And I know that preceding me is a list of phenomenal women as awardees. So I'd also like to recognize a previous recipient who was also part of an amazing, dynamic, feminating two-woman team who created this award many years ago. Carla Selly was one of those. She's not here with us today, but Gwen Weber McLeod is. And Gwen, I'd like to thank you for your foresight, your giving spirit, and your commitment to establishing a legacy of recognition for women leaders. And as us bad bosses say, Gwen, my crown tips to you. And any recognition as special as this would not be complete without noting that this Harlem-bred city slicker would never have made it some 300 miles northwest without my heart being captured by Mr. Thomas Johnson, that man right there. So thank you, babe, for finding, choosing, and whisking me up here to Cayuga County. Surely, as my family says, we are the epitome of a Green Acres story. And there is no one else who I'd rather mow grass with, shovel snow with, or drive 30 miles per hour with than you. Thomas, my heart beats for you. And congratulations to every other winner. And as I've come to know you and to learn of your imprint on Cayuga County and the community, I'm awed by your tenacity, your creativity, your brilliance, and your fortitude. And I'm honored to stand with you all as honorees. Well, the Phyllis Goldman Award recognizes women in our community who have demonstrated noteworthy entrepreneurial and professional pursuits, who are committed to community, and who have served as a role model for other women and girls pursuing their career dreams. Today, I'd like to share with you about being committed, and specifically being committed to pursuing dreams and being committed to doing great work. Well, I give God praise that the work that I do as the owner of Divine Coverings, I'm the CEO of the Beverly Hills Youth Empowerment Initiative, is the fruit of a dream. My grandmother, Sarah Appleton Smith, was the daughter of a South Carolinian sharecropper who chose to escape the Jim Crow South during the latter years of this social-economical phenomenon called the Great Migration, where 6 million African Americans fled the rural South for American cities like LA, Chicago, New York, Syracuse, and even Auburn. She landed in Harlem, New York, with an elementary school education, determined that her 6 children, my mom, Beverly, being the third oldest, would find greater opportunity to become and do what was not possible in the fields of Sumter, South Carolina. You see, she dreamed despite her fear of the unknown. She dreamed despite her lack of access and network. She dreamed in spite of being poor, being Black, and being a woman rearing children alone. But none of that stopped my Nana. None of it stopped her from dreaming and working and loving her children toward a better life. So by the time the little Melody came along, we were living in a tenement in Harlem and later in a New York City housing complex as a 3-generation family living under one roof. That might sound familiar to some of you, that 3-generation family thing. It's how most of us made it. I had the treasured benefit of being loved by 2 generations of strong Smith women. And I like to believe that much of their wisdom I now share, I got from them, the wisdom that I share with young women I mentor. And it came from those days of listening to my grandmother and my mom live and be in those small quarters. Whew. Brings back memories. Neither of them are with me today. So you should know that my mom, from whom the legacy that I founded the Beverly Smith Empowerment Initiative, dreamed big, and she played even bigger. She was a bedazzling creative force who took no tea for the fever and was also known for saying, I might joke, I might laugh, but I don't even play. She also would say to me, I'm her only child, Melody, I was born at night, but I wasn't born last night, girl. From my mom, I learned how to dream really big, how to stay the course, and how to always pull up someone with me as I climbed. You see, the year I graduated high school was the same year that the now late Reverend Beverly L. Smith graduated her GED program. And I will never forget how proud I was of her. She went on to earn a bachelor's degree, a master's degree in theology. She founded a Christian church that still exists today. She mentored dozens of women in the community in leadership and the creative arts. She taught at the college level, and she lived to see me graduate Vassar College, the first of our immediate family to do so. Those are the shoulders that I stand on, that I stood on, in founding the initiative to honor her legacy and our joint struggles in our educational journey. It was born to provide, as Tracy has said, mentorship and scholarship, entrepreneurial coaching for young women of color who, like me, took steps and continue to take steps in the leaps from high school to college, college to career. And over the past 6 years, the initiative, as you know, has granted a boatload of money to college scholarships, $85,000 in counting. We helped them to develop significant internship opportunities. We've stewarded impactful mentorship associations with other women leaders and supported families struggling to navigate the landscape of academia in the 21st century America. And I don't imagine that either my grandmother or my mother could have seen this. But I'm here doing this work and living out our wildest dreams because they first dreamed and they did the great, tedious work to make something out of less than nothing. Let me say that again. They made something out of less than nothing. And having less than nothing was the reality that I faced every day outside of my small apartment. Because you see, dreaming and wanting more birthed my first entrepreneurial venture. And it was a preteen adventure of delivering newspapers, not the normal ones that we see in the commercials where someone is riding their bike and flinging the paper on the porch and hopefully not hitting the dog and breaking a window. I lived in a 21-floor apartment in New York City projects. And so I chose, God only knows why, the elevator and the stairs, and it's a lot of people. I chose to deliver at cost the Sunday Daily News to elderly women. And I chose elderly women, thinking of my grandma, in those projects. And on the strength of my customer service and my smile, I earned tips from Sunday to Sunday. It was hard work, but with every delivery was an opportunity to glean from these women and to receive deposits of wisdom and female fierceness from each and every one of them. Many entrepreneurial efforts later, some successful, some not so successful, but all spent with other like-minded, driven women. I found myself a divorced mother of 3 amazing children who were bold and alarm.com in their own rights, ready for a second marriage. I was ready. So the concept of divine coverings was born out of me planning for a fabulous bling wedding on a shoestring budget. Remember, something from less than nothing. And coming from that place, it taught me to be frugal. But if you know me, frugal is still going to be fabulous. And of course, what helped to launch Divine Coverings was the blessing of social media. Because as I crafted the items for my wedding, of course I posted them and hashtagged away, both on Facebook and IG. Inquiries about the cost of my beautiful bouquet, the wedding card box, and other items started coming in. My entrepreneurial ears picked up the sound of the ching-ching. And our New York City Central Park Garden wedding was beautiful. And now, some 5 years later, Divine Coverings offers products that help women experience beauty every single day in every aspect of their life, bringing and celebrating that fierce dazzle, because we believe that we add dazzle to the details of life. Now, because of the women I come from, and because of the woman I've chosen to be, it is with intention that I am committed to the great work. I'm committed to creating spaces for other women as they journey through life professionally and personally. And it's with this mindset that after spending 2 unprecedented winters in central New York, that I reached out to the Schweinfurth Arts Center and created the Divine Coverings Community Initiative called My Hands Warm Your Heart, for women by women. It's a collaboration where the artisans there will knit and crochet outerwear that's been donated to the Women of Auburn Rescue Mission. Because my life story and my family's life story tells me that as you're a woman who's growing and developing and establishing your life, your children come first. And no matter how cold it is outside, you're always going to make sure that your babies have what they need. And so My Hands Warm Your Heart, for Women by Women, is designed to celebrate those women as they go to work every day, pursue their careers, and encourage them in their life's movements. It's this commitment to doing great work that I will continue to align myself with like-minded folk who won't settle for just personal success, but will be courageous enough to look for opportunities to impact a life, thereby impacting the family, thereby impacting a community for good. I believe in supporting dreams and building futures, and the seeds of that work begins right now. So I leave you with this, my deposit into this atmosphere. It's a bulldog tenacity to do great work in your life, in your business, in your community, to grab hold of the faith in your God-granted fierce dazzle, remembering as my mom, who got it from my auntie, would say, good, better, best. Never let them rest until your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. Congratulations, every awardee, and thank you.